All right. Welcome in, everybody, to the Thursday edition of Daily Bread, coming at you live right at 11:22 on the East Coast. No games have started. It's one of the smallest slates of the year for Daily Bread at this wonderful time because we only got two matches left in the World Cup, only probably one worth betting. And then we got 14 total games tonight. We're going to skip out on the college ball because yesterday was atrocious for me. So apologies for that. But we got four NBA games, all have a short spread. Plus, we'll get into the Niners versus the Seahawks, all powered by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Be sure to be tapping into their DMs for the weekend, week, or month. We're live on Twitter. Hit that link up in the title if you want to be featured in today's show and let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you're playing because we got the best subs out there.
Yes, sir.
How we feeling?
Splendid. Just splendid. How about yourself? How's your Thursday morning going? It's a nice start, huh? Steph Curry got hurt. Everybody and their mother bought tickets to see him tomorrow in Philly. It's all bad. It is all bad. Yeah, it's last night was not it for the Golden State Warriors, who continue to just stink on the road. The Toronto Raptors game, Sacramento broke a 9-game losing streak to Toronto in Toronto.
It looks like it's getting worse before it gets better in Toronto because everyone said the turn was about to happen, but
Right.
It has yet to swing back in the right direction.
Bam Adebayo, pedestrian performance. Tyler Hero, game winner at the inside of like 5 seconds of the game. Shout out to him. Had a great game, 35 piece, played exceptionally well. I'm trying to think whom else was really impressive yesterday. Fred VanVleet had a great game in that Toronto game. I don't think anybody bet him. Paul George and them beat Minnesota. Minnesota, man, what a disappointment. No lie. What an absolute disappointment.
Not shocked.
All those assets they gave up for Rudy Gobert, it has not paid dividends in any capacity. They're under 500 now without Cat in the lineup. Anthony Edwards just doesn't know when to be aggressive, doesn't know when to pass. It's just a very, very bad situation, to be honest. It's looking very, very grim right now with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I was high on them at the beginning of the year, not so much anymore. Shout out to Franz Wagner, part of that Wendell Carter trade for Vucevic. He's hooping. Atlanta looking absolutely horrendous last night.
Where's Roddy at?
I mean, he's not ducking or hiding or anything. He's not like ducking or hiding or anything.
No, we need to hear his thoughts because the last time he's on, he's just ignoring the NBA until the college football playoffs end.
Yeah, he's ignoring them. Yeah, you already know he's a UGA guy only right now.
But other than that, shut up with that nonsense that the Philly fans want and beat out of there. Those are your people who actually listen to sports talk radio. Those are, I think, the only people who have those type of thoughts. Did you see that was going around last night? I forget who tweeted it. It was like Bleacher Report or something saying the fans went and beat out.
Hey, man, fans are idiots, okay? Fans are complete idiots. So I'm not remotely concerned about what anyone has to say in regards to that.
I was about to say that would be the quickest way to make sure I never watch a Sixers game again. Would be a free agent for a team. Probably just go jump on the Pels bandwagon. Make it official at that point if that were to happen. But today's plays, let's start with the Pels game because that's what everyone comes here for.
Yes, sir.
What do you like in the Pels, Jazz? The Pels are a 1-point road favorite, total at 32.
Obviously, Zion Williamson has been absolutely dynamic. He's killing it right now. Still without Brandon Ingram for the Pelicans. I think that this is the same situation we were faced the other night with the Minnesota Timberwolves when they were in Portland, back-to-back, same gym. I still like them tonight. I think they shoot the ball a lot better. They just couldn't find it from three against them the last time they played. I mean, they were just absolutely horrendous from outside. I don't expect for that to continue. I think that the Pelicans win tonight, cover the one. I mean, it's a obviously 1 point spread. The guy I'm looking for tonight is CJ McCollum over 18.5 at minus 120. I do like Zion as well at over 28.5. I mean, he's absolutely unstoppable. Best first step in basketball. He also happens to weigh 280 pounds. So it's amazing to watch. He's been lights out for them over the last 10. So I would definitely lean towards Zion points, not betting it tonight because I think that other guys will contribute. I think they should be able to handle them. I know it's a 1 point spread, but I do not believe that. I think the Pelicans come out tonight and really, try to make sure that they assert themselves early and handle this Utah Jazz team.
Yep, the Pels, they're 4-0 straight up after a loss as in favorite, but the under is 3-1 also in there. The Pels offense couldn't break 100 the last game. Expect that to change. Wouldn't be scared to play that money line tonight, but playing in Utah is probably the worst. So they're trying to get out there as quick as possible. Where are we going for the second game?
The next one I am on is
Do the Rockets keep it up? Do the Rockets keep it up? Shout out to Monty last night. That was dope. Do the Rockets keep it up?
I think we're going to continue to bet what we've been betting, which is Jabari Smith Jr. The thing is that his lines aren't up. We don't know if he's going to play. But I definitely believe that when his numbers do come up, we're going to take him for 3+ threes again, just like we did every other time we've bet him. 3+ threes tonight for Jabari Smith in the event that he plays. You just bet it, whatever it is. If it's plus 180 tonight, you take it. You just got to bet it. The volume's there. They're getting him the ball in his spots, and he's getting started early. They're looking for him early. So I definitely am a firm believer in him. If he plays Miami on a back-to-back, obviously they won last night in Oklahoma City. I believe Jimmy Butler is slated to come back tonight as well. So with that being said, I would probably wait to look at any props in regards to Miami, just because with Jimmy Butler back, he takes shots away from people, and he also is a good distributor. He makes other guys around him better. So it's a wait and see thing with them. The two other games,
Bucks.
Grizz Bucks. I'm on the over 226.5 at minus 110. I think you get a good running match, whether or not Giroux plays. When Giroux doesn't play, obviously this team performs a little bit differently. They're not as good defensively. They don't play with the same pace either. So I like the game to go over though. Memphis gives it up. The guy I'm focused on will be the backup point guard, Tyus Jones. I had some thoughts about him. Whenever his assists open up, you're going to get it at a 4.5 or a 5.5. You take it immediately. Whether or not John Morant plays, he is the best point guard, the best backup point guard in basketball right now. I don't really think it's much of a conversation or discussion. And it pains me to say that because he's a Duke guy. I'm a North Carolina fan. But he's surprised the hell out of me. He's been really, really good.
You're picking a Woodard finds its level spot here because in the Milwaukee game so far, when they're on the road, the total is higher than 220. The under is 7-0.
Mm-hmm. Complete opposite side. Middleton's, like I said, they have everyone. Middleton finally broke out of his bad shooting the other night. He looked pretty good. And also John Morant's points, man. I think that if Giroux's not going to play, Josh should be able to get anything he wants off the bounce. When he gets to the paint, he's going to end up shooting like 13 free throws. I wouldn't be surprised. Over 27.5 at minus 122 is definitely a very good look. I like that as well.
In the last game we got on the board is the Suns at the Clips. It looks like PG's off of his minute restrictions. We don't know if Kawhi will play. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. You always know at this time once he gets grooving. Suns, baby dogs, what do we like? We'll get to that game next, Mo. Don't you worry.
As far as props, hard to touch. No one's available right now. It's super early. Um, I really don't have any thoughts right now because we don't even know who's going to play tonight. So hopefully, Phoenix can figure out a way to bounce back, but they haven't looked as impressive over the last 2 weeks. Maybe it's just that time of the year where they just don't play their best ball. The lull is now, and maybe they've learned to pace themselves to make the run at the end as opposed to winning 50 meaningless games in the middle of the season. Who knows?
Well, the one thing is when the Clips get hot so far this season, after they win a game by 10 plus, they're 4-1 ATS in the next one. So maybe a good time to buy low on it right here if a lot of the Suns do get ruled out, because I think we would see that number shift. But your favorite team to talk about or your favorite divisional rival, we got the Niners versus Seattle.
This is for the division. We win tonight.
I was about to say, a lot of pressure, but the spread doesn't really indicate that, right?
Division game on the road. Obviously, the first time we played them, that was the game that Trey Lance got hurt. Jimmy came in. We won the game, handled them pretty well. The Seahawks operate much better when they have a running game. Kenneth Walker not being 100%,
huge
is a bit of a concern. Obviously, we know that we can match up with just about any offense. I think the only person that's really given us issues is the best quarterback in the game in Patrick Mahomes. So for me, I really do like the Niners in this spot. I think the motivation is there to win the division. We win the division, you guarantee yourself a home game in the playoffs, and you put yourself in a situation where you don't necessarily have to play all your best players towards the end of the year. Now, obviously, it's attention to detail. You want them fresh and all that good shit, but it really puts you in a great situation. I think we win tonight. I like the Niners to obviously cover. I do like some props for tonight's game. Christian McCaffrey's receiving yards open at 35.5. It's at 40.5 now. It's up 5 yards since it opened. I still like the number. I still like the over 40.5. I think he gets it going away. The Seattle defense can be beaten up relatively easy, in my opinion. So that's one of my favorite plays. My other two favorite plays are DK Metcalf over 63.5 receiving yards. He's played historically well against us. Also, just a quick thing, Tyler Lockett scored a touchdown in 6 consecutive games. Big deal for anybody who's betting touchdown scores. He's been the surest bet in the NFL over the last 5 weeks. Brandon Ayuk to score a touchdown. I really love that. Obviously, he's played really, really well against NFC opponents, especially NFC West teams. He seems to dominate. The two flyers I'm taking tonight are Jordan Mason at plus 140 to score a touchdown, and the San Francisco defense at plus 600 to score a touchdown. I can see Geno having to be a little bit reckless later on in the game, trying to either bring them back or keep them in it, make them susceptible for a pick six. Can also see one of those ball carriers fumbling, seeing that Kenneth Walker is not going to have the full workload. So that's my distinct expectation for this particular matchup. Any thoughts on your end in regards to this one?
Everybody seems to be on Seattle here because I think everyone's expecting Brock Purdy, I guess, to finally come back down to earth on a Thursday night short slate in a bad travel environment in a tough crowd scenario, I guess. That's really the only way you go about it. Or you could go Niners, only time they've given up 20 plus like you said, was to Mahomes. They've covered 4 straight. Seattle have not covered 4 straight. They've only won 1 of their past 4. Back at home, or still at home here, you can say Kenneth Walker completely changes that. But Seattle's defense has been coming up short more often than not. Teams have maybe find out to scheme Geno a little bit, but still not to that certain point. I really don't know if I can lay 3 in Seattle with Brock Purdy with the Niners, but I don't see many people on that side, and I just don't know how Seattle breaks 21.
Why are people making it a thing about Brock? Like, why is it about Brock? What did Brock do?
Because that's the easy narrative to do, because if you don't name anyone else, you just talk about the quarterback, you sound a lot smarter.
Yeah, but when is it's not dependent on the quarterback. When did we ever look at a Niner game and it's like, hey man, really, really scared of Jimmy G? You know what I mean? Like it's as long as he doesn't turn the rock over, which I don't think Kyle is going to give him a ton of opportunities to actually do that. You know what I
It's the
mean?
uncertainty factor, I guess, because you've proven that Jimmy won't do it. We were unsure with Trey just because he hasn't gotten the run. With Brock, I don't know. You can go to whatever Iowa State days and all that good stuff back then, but the comps to Tom Brady also have to stop.
I'm not a fan of the guy. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I've never been a fan. He's got to prove it to me. Obviously, we watched him in college. Was never the best player on his team. He got carried by All American running backs and receivers and players who were better than him his entire career there. So yeah, I mean he fits the profile though. He fits the profile of the guy that we've seen Shanahan's hitched their wagon to. Outside of
Mhm.
John Elway, none of the quarterbacks have been like super dynamic guys outside of RG3, right? It's been run of the mill guys like a Kirk Cousins who's been ultra effective in framework of the offense. Don't ask him to be the guy. I'm not saying that Purdy is Kirk Cousins. Yes, I am. He's an average NFL quarterback who, if you put the right pieces around him, can be successful. That's what we're going to do. Not having Debo might be a bit of an issue tonight. I don't think it will be, but it might be. But yeah, this is also Seattle's only I think this is their only their second primetime game, right? Because I think the
Mhm.
first play was I think the first one was the opening week against Russ when they beat Russ. I think these are the only two primetime games they get. So hopefully it can be entertaining. I mean, I like the San Francisco defense against any team in the NFL, including the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't really care what your record is. Got to play the games, got to do it in between the lines.
Other than that, today's episode under 20 minutes because not too much to be talking about. Best slate, biggest slate on Saturday because bowls, NFL, college hoops. We got a lot to talk about on Saturday. Sunday, we still got the NFL, not as big of a slate, and the World Cup finals on Sunday. So make sure you're tapping in. And then tomorrow, we'll cover whatever is going to be on Hoops Wise. We appreciate everyone tapping in. Like, retweet, follow, sub. We out.